Hi, this is Leah from the House Divided office at Dickinson College, and I'm here to show you how to create a Prezi presentation. The first thing that you want to do is go to Prezi.com, and it's taking you right to my profile. You're going to want to set up your own, which is pretty self-explanatory and easy to do. And when you finish that, you're going to click on New Prezi. Now, Prezi recommends that you brainstorm, and they recommend what you call a sneeze Prezi. Basically, it's a blank canvas where you sneeze out all of your ideas and without trying to create any sort of structure. And the benefit to that is that you can color code and create charts and use the tools that Prezi has, and then you can copy and paste afterwards. I prefer to do everything in my notebook on a spare piece of paper, but that's up to you. When you're ready to create your Prezi, you would come here to their template chooser, and you could choose one of these. They're all metaphorical, so for example, if you thought that Lincoln went on a journey from how he viewed emancipation at the start of his political career until the end of it, you might click the journey template. Or if you thought that Lincoln had a hard choice between emancipation and the Union, you might click the hard choice template. If you wanted to use any of those, you're going to click Use Template. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you actually how to input your own image. So click on Start Blank Prezi, and we'll just get this out of the way. To insert a picture, you would just come here to Insert and Image. You have the option of course, uploading a file from your computer, which everybody should know how to do. And again, you can use any of the images that we have at House Divide. It's free for non-commercial use. You could also do a Google image. Say you were doing a presentation on Lincoln as a rail splitter. You would type that in here. And then you could choose between any one of these images. Then you would click Insert. It's really important that you keep the canvas unlocked to edit it and to be able to zoom in. So make sure that that is unlocked. The image that you choose is really, really important because Prezi is very different from PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a presentation where the template is only in the background and you just use it to demonstrate your ideas, but it's pretty static, pretty unmovable. Whereas Prezi, you're actually engaging with your image. So you would be zooming in and out and around the image, and you use the image to help tell your story. That's why a lot of people choose to use Prezi. So I'm going to show you a Prezi that I've done on Abraham Lincoln and his position on slavery and how it changed throughout his life. Basically, to zoom in and out, that's kind of the most basic functions that you can do. You can either scroll up and scroll down, or you can click the plus or minus buttons to do that for you. Again, scrolling I think is just a little bit easier and more convenient. To move around the canvas, you would click and make sure you have that hand, and then you can drag the whole presentation around, because otherwise you're just going to be dragging the image and not the entire presentation. So the most basic thing that you can do for your presentation is add text, and basically you're just going to click. You can add a title, so I'm going to type Abraham Lincoln. And you can make that bigger by clicking the big A here. To add more text, say I want a subtitle, I would come over here and click again and create subtitle. And I can change the color. Say I wanted to choose green. Oops, you have to make sure you highlight it all, or else it won't all turn green. And then you can again make it smaller by clicking the little a. And if I wanted to add body text, which is the majority of the text you'll be using, say I wanted to add a quote, you would just come there and click body. When you're done with that, you see that little dotted blue line right in this area, it'll show up when I'm dragging. That just means that everything's centered together. To set text apart, I prefer to do a bracket frame. Just, click and drag around your text, and that just sets it apart from the background. Now you have to be really careful because it just added a slide to the end of my Prezi, and so to get rid of that, I would just come up here to the edit and X out of that. You just don't want extra slides in there that you don't know about, so pay attention. Now imagine that I wanted this text box to be up here, and you can't read my text very well, so I would come here and draw a rectangle frame. I would draw that over my bracket, just like that, and you can center it. And then what you want to do, if you want your bracket to stick out, you would click the rectangle and click send backward. And that just makes your bracket come to the front. To create a slide, Prezi calls it a path, you could either come here to edit and then click on this frame, and that will zoom in really far on the frame, just like that, and that's what it would look like. Or if you wanted it to be zoomed out more, say you wanted Abraham Lincoln's face to be in your title slide, you could come here to this option, add current view, and it just takes a screen capture of what you saw, and will present it like that in the full screen format. So it's my title page. I don't want it all the way at the end, so I would, I'm not going to choose this one, I'm going to choose this one. But I would bring it all the way up here. Just click and drag, and you can drag it to wherever you want it to be in the sequence. And then I would put it, second. I like to start zoomed out. I think it just gives it a nice effect where you know where you're starting from and you know where you're going to end up. And then zoom into the title image. This is very close, but the reason that I did that is to show you that if you click on this bracket and then come over here to this circle that will show up when you put your pointer to it, you can actually rotate the box, and Prezi will present it straight. So it's a good way to zoom in and out and turn around your presentation, so it would look like this. And as you see, it turned the entire presentation. Now I'm going to show you how to do some of the more advanced features on Prezi that can really make your presentation more multimedia. So for example, if I come here to this slide right here, I chose to add a voiceover so that Lincoln is actually reading this quote right here. You can find the audio files that House Divided has of Professor Todd Ronsky reading Lincoln's voice on our House Divided SoundCloud, and if you watch the tutorial on how to use Audacity, you'll figure out how to create clips from those audio clips. And then to insert that, make sure you have this here highlighted, and then go to Insert, and it's going to say Insert Voiceover on path step number 5. Right now I already have it up, so it says Replace, but you would click that and then you would upload it from your computer, and it's as simple as that. What that looks like, if I go back the slide, is this.
I hold it to be a paramount duty of us in the free states, due to the union of the...
And if I go on to the next slide, it will automatically cut off Lincoln's voice. The next thing that you can do is add a YouTube video. I did this about the Lincoln-Douglas debates. And you can play it in your final presentation. Basically, to do that, you would just go to Insert and then YouTube video, and you would copy and paste the link that you wanted in here. And it's as simple as that. You can resize the video to whatever size you want, set it off with brackets, or give it a caption. And then when you were to play it, it would look like this. So basically, you get the idea. If you make a mistake at any time, or you put something in and you don't like it, you can always undo and redo. You can save up here, and then when you're finished, you can exit, and it will save automatically when you exit, but I like to be safe. When you exit, it will take you to a screen that shows you the Prezi, and from here you can present it, you can download it, you can save a copy, you can share it anywhere that you can put a link, or you can embed it, and embedding it might be good for WordPress. And to play it automatically, you would just click play, or you could go through yourself manually by hitting the spacebar or the right arrow key to go forward. And to go backward, you would hit the left arrow key. If you wanted to move around anywhere, you can click and drag again, and you can move away from the slide that you're currently on. To view full screen, you would click here. And that's almost it to using Prezi. The last thing that you need to know is that I have this set to public and reusable, meaning that people can reuse my work. If you wanted to set it as private, you could always change that privacy level. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial about Prezi, and if you take anything away from it, I hope that it's that in Prezi you really interact with your image and you use it to tell a story.